Part 3, Ode to Autumn. Second stanza. In the first stanza, there was this picturesque setting, description of autumn, description of the ripe fruits of autumn. But now, in the second stanza, the poet gives you a visual treat. You love every personification which has been mentioned by the poet. He begins with a rhetorical question. I'll just read out the lines first. Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind, or on a half-reaped furrow, sound asleep, drowsed with the fume of poppies, while thy hook spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. And sometimes, like a gleaner, thou dost keep steady thy laden head across a brook, or by a cider press with patient look, thou watchest the last oozings hours by hours. In this stanza, the poet imagines the farming activities of autumn by personifying autumn as the winnower, reaper, gleaner, or cider presser. So you have these four images of the reaper, of the winnower, reaper, gleaner, and cider press as I could make available for you. So we'll go line by line. Who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Here's a rhetorical question. Who hasn't seen autumn amid the store? Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find thee sitting careless on a granary floor, thy hair soft lifted by the winnowing wind. Whoever travels, it's not traveling abroad, it's traveling to the countryside across the fields, one can notice the winnower sitting carelessly on a granary floor, and while performing the act of winnowing, the hair would be lifted along with the wind. So I could get a picture of a scarfed winnower. So the hair should be let loose so that you can imagine that when the winnower performs this act, the hair is also lifted up. Or on a half-reaped furrow, sound asleep, drowsed with the fume of poppies, while thy hook spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. Or you can notice another act of farming, that is reaping. There is a reaper who is sound asleep in the half-reaped furrow. Why? Because he or she is drowned by the fume of poppies, while thy hook, you see, there is this scythe which the reaper carries. So this spares the next swath and all its twined flowers. The act of reaping will be cutting of the weeds. So the next primarily, so all the entwined flowers are the weeds, and the action of reaping, the next swath is spared because The reaper has fallen asleep. Next, look at the images. Image 1, image 2, and this is the third image. And sometimes, like a gleaner, thou dost keep steady thy laden head across a brook. In the third picture, you see the act of balancing. The entire, after the reaping is done, there is this bundling of the swaths, and then the gleaner carries it on her head, and while crossing a small river, a brook, the balance is maintained. The fourth image is that of a cider press where the farmer is standing watching the last oozings hours by hours. It's an ancient machine. In now farming is also advanced, but there is this, after these activities, the farmer stands by the cider press so that the juice is extracted of the particular fruit.